Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Just a Vision. It is your girl and yo daddy here, Viola, and I'm back with another motherfucking video. Oh, oh, Alright guys, yes, welcome back to my channel. Sorry about that. I'm a little energetic, enthusiastic, and happy to be back because I feel like I have not made a video in forever, but it's only been a few weeks. So with that being said, before I get into the video, I do want to mention a few things. The first being, I just want to say that I'm sorry that I have not made a video on this channel and on my other YouTube channel, Viola. I feel like I haven't made one on there in like 2 weeks, and on this one at least like a week or so. But that's because of everything that's been going on in the world right now. Life has been very stressful. Life has been very hectic. It's like we're on the go. We haven't really had time to sit down because we have to get our food, we have to get our toilet paper, we have to, get our medicines, get our other basic necessities, and we have to make sure we have everything in order for us to continue living our lives how it's supposed to be going in the next few weeks. So life has just been crazy. We've been trying to get everything situated, and so I've just been not able to make a video. But now everything has pretty much calmed down a little bit to the point where I'm able to actually sit down, relax, and make a video and not have to constantly worry about what's going to happen next, what I'm going to think about, what am I going to do, this, that, and the other. So yeah, along with that, I usually show you guys my outfit in the video, but I'm really not going to, just because I am in the car again and I don't feel like stretching my body and trying to be all discombobulated for you guys. And again, it's not anything too crazy, too cute. I just slicked my hair back, made these little curls, threw on this white t-shirt, some jeans, and some tennis shoes. That's it. Nothing too crazy, too cute. But if you like it, you can screenshot. I'm just kidding, but let's get into the video. Alright guys, so by the title / topic of today's video, it is what I think about everything that's going on. Now, I was going to do something along the lines of how I feel about the coronavirus situation, but I'm not going to, just because when I was on Facebook earlier, I had seen this thing where they said that they are going to remove any memes or posts or statuses that are shared about the coronavirus. Now, I'm not sure if it's the ones that are, making fun of it, or if it's, just anything in general, as well as I'm not sure if it's all of, all social media platforms or all of the internet, or maybe it's just Facebook, who knows. But I would rather be safe than sorry. So the video topic / title is not going to be coronavirus used in it, but just know that throughout this video I'm going to give you guys my feedback, my thoughts, my perspectives, what I've been learning the last few days about it, and how I've been talking to other people and trying to get to the bottom of this and trying to put 2 and 2 together and realizing what this is even all about. Now, I also realize that you guys may have different perspectives on this whole idea that I have, which is completely fine because everybody has their own perspectives, their own views, and I'm aware of that. I won't bash you on it. Just know that this is what I think, and as well as a couple other people, what they have told me about how they feel as well. And in this video, I want you guys also to give me feedback. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same as what I'm saying. It could be your own thoughts, your own perspectives, your own views. It could be something that somebody else told you, whatever the case is. But let me know down in the comments below. Give me your feedback. Give me your insight on it, because I definitely want to know. I want to be able to talk to people and figure out what kind of things that they have going on, what kind of things that they have in their minds. Who knows? We might, end up coming together and thinking that, this is all happening for a reason. We never know. So, to begin with, guys, so basically, usually I'm a very, 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 very overthinking person. I constantly overthink. It doesn't matter what it is. Des and I can be driving down the street and she'll just like catch me like daydreaming, and she'll be like, oh, what are you doing? I'll just be like thinking. She'll be like, about what? Just life. She's like, what about life? I'm like, honestly, just life in general. I'm constantly always thinking about this, thinking about that, thinking about the other, or the what ifs, or why did this happen? Why did that happen? What is to come next? Now, I'm not necessarily afraid of the world and everything that has to go with it, because I'm definitely a risk taker, and I know that every day is full of, new opportunities, new things to be learned, and new day for wisdom, or whatever the case is. What I'm more afraid of, honestly, is other people's intentions, what other people are going to do, because you never know what they're going to do. You can't just step inside their minds and be like, I'm going to stop them before they try to do this. You never know. So that's my biggest fear, is what's next, because we never know what's next. Every day is a new day. We're not promised tomorrow. So it's kind of like I'm just anxious about what's to come after all of this is over. What's to come, next while we're in quarantine. We don't really know. We just kind of have to go with the flow. And that's the thing that I'm working on, because I like to have the answers. I want to know what's going to happen. I don't like not knowing what's going to happen. That's what freaks me out the most. But that is something that I'm definitely trying to work on, is trying to just go with the flow, because I know that the world is a crazy place, but I also know that not everybody is crazy. And I also know that I just kind of have to go with the flow and see where life takes me. I can't be just afraid to go out into the world because of a small little virus that's out there. Yes, it is a big thing, but at the same time, I can't let all the fear and everything on the internet stop me from living my life to the fullest, making my videos, going after my goals, going after my dreams. And I shouldn't be anxious. I should just go with the flow and see what is to come next. And that's what I've definitely been working on. Because with this whole virus thing going on, I can definitely tell you that I was calm at first. I'm very optimistic. I'm very open-minded. I can think outside the box. But with everything going on and people posting their own thoughts, their own ideas, their own conspiracy theories on the internet, it just made me, think even more. And I'm like, I don't know. Should I think this about life? Should I think that about life? Should I do this? Should I do that? It's just like, I don't know. And that's what I'm, trying to work on, because I don't know the answers. And I want to know the answers, because you never know what's going to happen next. So all this stuff on social media, all the memes about how the Simpsons were predicting this, as well as, the whole Trump being president. I've also read things on the internet about how this is all just propaganda for, the elections this year, the 2020 elections. And people were also referring back to whenever we had the swine flu outbreak and the Ebola outbreak. So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, thinking maybe this is happening, for a reason. Is the government doing it? Who knows? Maybe it's something serious that is actually happening in the world, and we have to be cautious about it. So that's what I was constantly thinking. I'm like, who is right? What am I supposed to believe? I'm feeling like I don't even know what to do. Like, is the government trying to kill us? Because I also seen a whole bunch of people posting about how this has nothing to do with the virus. They're just trying to lock us down so that they can, kill everybody, in our country and all that. And I'm just like, I don't want to think that way. But then again, people are putting out that thought. People are putting out that idea, that perspective. And it makes you think. And you're just like, okay, I don't know what to believe now. Should I believe this person? Should I believe that person? Or should I believe myself and go with the flow? You never know. So that's the thing that's kind of scary, is that you never know what to expect. You don't know what's going on, and you're just like, I'm just trying to go with the flow. As well as I've also seen, quotes and stuff about people saying that God's coming back to earth. We never know when he's coming back. He could potentially be coming back. I mean, I've learned about that when I was younger, about him coming back to earth, but we never really know. We can't sit here and predict it. Only he knows when he's coming back. So that's one of the things I had to learn, is that it could potentially be that, but at the same time, we can't sit here and predict when he's going to come back. He's going to come back on his own time. But maybe this is all happening, in order for him to come back, in order for him to show us that we need to have faith in him. I don't know. But yeah, I had all those racing thoughts in my head, and I just really didn't know what to believe. I'm trying not to be afraid. I'm trying to have faith. I'm trying to go with the flow. But with all these various, media outlets and people having conspiracy theories, it really makes you sit back and think about everything. Like, why is this all happening? Is there a reason behind it? What should I be doing to protect myself and to protect my loved ones and my family? And just all those sorts of questions are the ones that are rushing through your mind, and you just got to sit back and try to think about it and just not try to stress about it too much. But then again, guys, through my spiritual awakening, I have been trying to, be positive. I have been trying to become more aware of the universe, as well as being safe and cautious, making sure I wash my hands, making sure I'm doing this whole social distancing thing, which honestly isn't really a problem for me, because I'm not a big fan of being in big crowds of people at one time. So I'm okay. I usually go out whenever I have to, or whenever I really want to go out, but I don't really go out there just to go out there anyway. So I think on that part, I'm okay. So I'm just trying to, you know, become more aware. I'm trying to live in the present moment. I'm not trying to let these other people's thoughts and perspectives, you know, get to me too much, or these conspiracy theories. Like, I know that they're there and I'm aware of them, but I can't, you know, let them be attached to me. I can't let them, you know, rule my life and have me live my life in fear of what if this happens, what if that's happening, what if this is actually true, what if that's actually true, because you never actually know. I'm just trying to go at the flow and see what, you know, Mother Nature and God in the universe has in store for me. I'm not trying to, you know, follow under what one person has to say. I'm using different perspectives, different views, and trying to piece them all together to try to figure out what this is all about. So, like I said, through my spiritual awakening, I've been trying to be positive. That's why I make my motivational quote videos. I try to give you guys the best information as possible, as well as being aware of the universe. I'm more aware of my surroundings. I just go with the flow. I try not to let things, you know, attach to me so much. I'm trying to be safe. I'm trying to live in the present moment. I do my yoga. I do my meditation. I pray to God. I'm literally just trying to build a relationship up with God and knowing that everything's going to be all right, as well as reading the books have been also helping me, like moving through fear, living well emotionally, the 7 spiritual instincts to living a happier life. Like, they have definitely been helping me out in the long run, especially moving through fear, because that has let me know that we all have one huge fear that pretty much contains all of our smaller fears. And once we are able to let go of that fear, it's easier for you to let go of all your other things that you're worried about, whether it be you not being good enough, you never, you know, achieving anything in your life, you never amount to anything, you know, or even, you know, feeling like you're God's child or feeling like God doesn't believe you. As long as you keep going and you have faith that everything's gonna be okay, all your answers and your miracles and your blessings will come to you in a timely manner. You just have to be able to figure out how to move through your fears, not let them, you know, control your life anymore, because nobody wants to live in a life of fear. We all have a birth right that was given to us to let us know that we are able to live that happier and freer lifestyle. We just have to be able to figure out how to obtain it if we weren't born into that lifestyle already. If we are born into a lifestyle where it's shitty or where it's crappy, we have the ability to change it. We have to just get over our fears and not let them control our lives, because if we keep continuing to let our fears control our lives, we're not going to live that happy, freer, and healthier lifestyle. We're always going to be depressed. We're always going to be scared. We're not going to be, you know, willing to take the next step or take risk or see what life has to offer. We shouldn't do that. We should just continue to just go with the flow, become more aware of our surroundings, know that our fears are not attached to us, but we are bigger than our fears, we are stronger than our fears, and stop letting them ruin in our lives and let us, you know, take us in the route of life that we don't want to go into. Don't let your fears, you know, keep you in that trapped state of mind, keep you in that mindset where you're afraid to get out there, you're afraid to explore the world, you're afraid to even actually have fun, live your life. Like, fear is a big part of our lives that we just need to learn how to break free from that. Which brings me to a topic about the whole coronavirus thing that I seen online, and it was by Doughty. Now, I have talked to you guys about him before in previous videos, and if you haven't, I will put the link in the description box below. But the last videos I talked to you about were the whole spiritual awakening and meditation and yoga and all that. But with this video, Aaron basically gave me a little bit of comfort and realization and made me think about life. And it's like, he drew this thing where he said, you know, we're all going through this epidemic right now. It's not just one specific group of people. It's not one race. It's not one religion. It's not one country. It's the whole world as a whole right now. We're all facing it, and we have to be able to face it together and not face it separately. We need to come together and figure out how we're going to get through this. But what he described, though, guys, is this little picture down here, and I will put at the end of this video his little link for this, because if you want to watch it, it is very useful. But basically, I can't even talk right, but basically he describes how, you know, the whole world right now, we're affected by this epidemic. And so we're all spiritual beings that are living in this body. We're immortal spiritual beings living in like a physical body. And so in life, we put out these vibrations. We have high vibrations, we have low vibrations. The people that usually put out the higher vibrations are the ones who, you know, they just go with the flow of life. They let it take them on a journey. They're not really worried about what's to come next. They have faith in God. They have faith in the universe that everything's going to be all right. They're open-minded. They're optimistic. They are ready to go out there and explore. Now, the people who put out lower vibrations, those are the ones who are a little bit more scared of the world. They're more frantic. They're afraid to go out there. They're afraid to see what life has in store for them. And when you put out those lower vibrations, it's easier, he said, for people to control us. So this little spectrum right here shows us that people that have higher vibrational frequencies, they experience more love, they experience more willpower, they have more strength and more dedication and more faith in the universe. But people who have lower vibrations, which are down here, those are the people who are living their life through fear, living their life through anger. And once we start to let, fear control our lives, it's easier for other people to come into our lives and control it as well. Because if you're putting out these lower vibrations and you're afraid and you're angry, it's easier for other people to come into your life and, treat you that way and show you that this is how you're supposed to be living your life. Instead of you being, full of faith and encouragement and strength, you're all down in the dumps. You're afraid of what's going to happen next. You're afraid to go out into the world. You're afraid to explore. You don't really have faith. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to fear. They want you to have, a little bit of, scarcity in yourself. They want you to, be afraid instead of going out there and trying to fight it. They're trying to get us to be all frantic and be afraid. And that's what he was basically trying to show us. So once we are able to break out of this lower vibrational state where we're scared and when we're free, or not scared and free, but when we're scared and when we're angry, once we become more free and we start to have these higher vibrational, pulls up here, it's going to be less easier for them to be able to control us. I don't know why I was thinking about that differently, but basically it's going to be harder for them to try to control us if we're open-minded, we're optimistic, and we have more faith, and we're just living in the life of God. We're not really stressed about what's to happen next. So that's what he was basically describing, is just saying that we have to become more aware. We have to become more aware of what's going on, knowing that it's affecting everybody, not just a specific group of people, but also trying to figure out how we can come together and overcome these situations that are arising right now. Along with, me seeing that about Aaron Doughty, I've also been seeing things about how people are using different Bible verses and different, parts of the Bible as in explaining why all of this phenomenon and these situations are happening right now. And I can tell you that growing up, I wasn't really religious. I honestly thought I was an atheist. Because, my dad's side of the family, his family was more of, you need to go to church, you need to do this. They were all like pushing you towards a religion. My mom's side of the family was more of, I don't want to say hippies, but they were kind of, just go with the flow. You can figure your life out on your own. And so I thought I was an atheist. I wasn't really sure what to believe. But now that, I've gone through my spiritual awakening, I definitely have had the urge to get closer to God, closer to the universe, and try to live my life, to the fullest. I've been trying to find the faith in God and try to build a relationship with him and spread the peace, love, and positivity wherever I go, which brings me to all these Bible verses that are, being brought back up into this whole coronavirus situation. People have been using the little virus thing here and breaking the letters down into little antonyms and acronyms, and trying to show us that maybe, just maybe, we need to have faith in God. So basically, this is the name of the coronavirus, the actual name, COVID, but people are saying that it means Christ over viruses and infectious diseases, and which is also from Joshua 19. Or not Joshua 19, but Joshua 1:9 in the Bible. And then it says, "Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Don't be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And people are, posting these to let us know that we should have faith in God. We should have faith in the universe, and we should, get closer to them, because that's what he wants right now. I feel like he's having all of this happen in order for us to become closer to him, because we've strayed away from him in the past. We've strayed away and pretty much began doing our own things, not living, in the life of God, not living into what he wants. We're all going out there. Yes, we make mistakes, but we also have been doing things that we shouldn't have been doing. The massacres, murders, rapists, molestations, whatever the case is, all this bad stuff that's happening. We shouldn't even have this occur, but it's all happening. And I feel like he's doing all of this in order to steer us in the right direction. People are sitting there, figuring these things out. Maybe it is a clue that, he wants us to become one with him. He wants us to know that whatever we're going through, as long as we have faith in him and we repent all of our sins to him, that we will be okay. We just got to go with the flow and live in his word. And that's what I've been trying to do. I've been praying, I've been doing my yoga, I've been doing my meditation, because even though I do have, a higher vibration, I still kind of let things get to me, and I'm like, what if this happens, what if that happens, and it makes me anxious. But as I've been trying to get closer to God, I've been praying, I've been trying to, read the Bible and, see what life has to offer, see what he has to offer for me, I'm definitely feeling more relieved, and it makes me feel like this is definitely all happening for a reason. And I also feel like, he has brought these different people into my life in the last few weeks to give me that uplifting knowledge, the advice, and to give me closure and to help me uplift my spirits and get closer to God. Because the last few days, with people not being able to go to work and all that, when I was at work, I had a couple people, just talk to me at the movie sets, and we were just talking about God in general, and it made me, want to get even more in touch with God, and, it gave me advice on to just live my life to the fullest and to not worry about anything, no matter what situation I'm going through. Even if I feel like he doesn't love me, he loves me, because Jesus Christ himself died on the cross so that he was able to let everybody live their lives to the fullest, no matter what sin that they have, done. He wants us to know that he will be with us every step of the way, as long as we ask for forgiveness, we ask for repentance, and we, want to start living in the life of him. And so I've definitely been getting closer, and I feel like he's been putting these people in my life, he's been putting these signs and these situations in my life in order to steer me in this direction. And I feel like I'm finally putting two and two together with everything that's been going on. I don't really want to feel like it's the government trying to kill us, because who wants to think that? I personally don't think that our government, especially with the people in our generation, I don't think that they would do that to us. I don't think they would go out there and kill their own family. It may potentially be used as propaganda. Who knows? We just kind of have to see how it plays out. If it plays out in that sense, then maybe we could go back and say that it was part of propaganda, but we don't know. Honestly, especially with the memes and predicting stuff, maybe people are just doing that so that we can continue to be more scared and continue to be more frantic, so that they can control our lives instead of us doing what we're supposed to be doing ourselves. As well as maybe it is God coming back to earth. We never know. I mean, he comes back on his own time. We can't predict that. So right now I'm just trying to go with the flow, get closer to him, and know that everything's gonna be all right. Another thing that I had seen on Facebook, though, was about how all these wildfires are happening. There was a wildfire in Australia. It said that the locusts were swarming in Africa, as well as an epidemic on all of our people, which was referring back to the coronavirus. And in the Bible, it says in 2 Chronicles 7 about how I think God was going to do this on the land, I think where David was, or Solomon, I'm not sure, I have to go back. I'm sorry, God, for not, remembering it right. But basically, it just said how in the Bible this was all going to happen, and now it's all happening. And I feel like that maybe it is happening so that we are able to, come together as a whole and know that whatever we're facing, as long as we have strength, we have power, we have, the dedication, and we follow God, that everything will be all right. He will protect us from everything that we're going through, no matter if it's a disease, a tragedy, a trauma, bullying, or feeling like you're never gonna be good enough. Just know that as long as you have him in your life, you will be okay. You won't have to worry, you won't have to stress, you'll be okay. And I feel like all these signs and all these symbols are being thrown into my way to steer me in this direction, or to give me insight on whatever is happening right now. Maybe, just maybe, this is all happening for a reason. So this brings me all back to my spiritual awakening again, because during, my process, I was wondering and looking up online, why is this all happening to me? Why am I the one to start figuring these things out, putting two and two together? And in the research that I have done, it says that people who are awakened, or who are experiencing a spiritual awakening process, it usually happens in a time of a crisis. It happens so that they are able to, wake up from themselves, wake up from the world, and, potentially create something that can make a greater difference in the world. We never know. So I feel like this is all happening for a reason. I feel like God, made me start realizing these things so that I could put two and two together, so I could, give you guys my motivational quotes, so I could, give you guys my advice, give you guys my insight, whatever the case is. I really do think that all of this is happening for a reason, so that I am able to go out there and create a greater difference in the world, and also come together with people who are like-minded, who are optimistic, and who want the same things as me. Because I can definitely feel that within myself, that if we all come together and we come together, we make a difference, that we can potentially create a better world for ourselves. We just have to stop judging other people. We have to stop all the hatred. We have to stop all the judgment. We have to stop living in the life of the love of power instead of using the power of love to live our lives. We should be spreading peace, love, and positivity everywhere. We should be using our differences to come together. And I honestly believe as well that God made us all different so that we are able to bring our differences together. And by different, it doesn't matter whether it's a religion, it's your skin color, your sexual orientation, your sexual identity, your religion, your culture, whatever the case is, your intellectual ability, your disability, whatever it is. I honestly feel like God made us all different, and he made, even all the newer generations different. That way we were able to come together and create a greater difference in the world. No matter, what our individual differences are, we need to come together and use them, because everybody's different, everybody's unique, everybody has their own thoughts, opinions, and ideas, and we could come together and potentially create, something that is beautiful for the world. And I feel like down deep inside, I know that there's a lot of people out there who also want to do the same as well, but they're just afraid of going out there and they're afraid of putting it into action. But I am willing to, make a group with somebody. I'm willing to be out here to create a group that we could all come together. We can put in our thoughts and our ideas, and we can create something that is beneficial for not even just America, but for the whole entire world. I know that deep within myself, I have, come up with a couple different ideas in the last few days on how I feel like we could potentially make the world a better place, as long as we all come together and we stop bashing each other, we stop hating each other, and we come together and realize that all we need to do is love each other, accept each other, and live in the life of God, and not worry about everything else that's going on. Everything in life happens for a reason. Like I said, we may not know what that reason is yet, but one day we will realize it. Which brings me, guys, to another quote that I have seen on Facebook, or another post that I had seen on Facebook, which basically was a post from this girl talking about how she basically feels like everything in life is actually happening for a reason too. She said that since, we've been on lockdown, people haven't really been driving their cars. People haven't really been, going out into the world and, being all close together. She said that the canals in Italy were starting to clear up and more fish were starting to come. There was something about the monkeys in Taiwan and in China, like all the animals are starting to, roam around the place, as well as, plants starting to bloom. And it really made me, sit back and think to myself, maybe this is definitely happening for a reason, because right now we're dealing with pollution, we're dealing with hatred, we're dealing with, depression, the highest, depression rates, the highest suicidal rates. We're dealing with so much in life right now that I feel like it's definitely happening for a reason, in order for us all to come back together as a whole. And it did make sense. It made sense to me. Maybe this is happening so that we are able to start off in a more earthlier, freer, and healthier lifestyle. She said in the post that she believes that it's happening so that maybe after all of this passes over, we can start back up on an environmental, safe, green, conscious foot. And it's like, yes, that is exactly what I feel like. I feel like we should be trying to figure out different ways on making the world a better place. Maybe this is happening so that, the world could take a breather for a second. We need to calm the hell down, especially with our constant moving around. We're always up in the air. We're always, using cars and transportation, yada, yada, yada. We don't really have time anymore to spend with our family, with our friends, and do the simple things in life. We're always on, on the go. And I feel like this is happening so that we are able to get back into that mindset where we don't need technology all the time. We don't need to be constantly going to one place or another. I feel like this is happening so that we are able to come back together, as a family unit, be able to accept one another, as well as following God and giving us different signs and different ways and different ideas on how to make the world a better place. So I definitely agree with this post that this is all happening for a reason, so that it is able to bring us together so we can love each other and make the world a better place, whether it's greener, healthier, earthlier, or whatever the case is. I do feel like this is all happening for a reason, and I agree with her. So our faith and our belief should be stronger than ever before, guys. This is what we need right now. This is what he wants. He wants us all to just come back to him. He's just waiting for his children to come home. We just have to know that he is going to be with us every step of the way. He's not out here to, take anything away from us. The universe and God and Jesus, they're all out here to support us in our lives. They want us to live a happy life because we all have that birthright. It's It's just that a lot of other people have a harder time accepting that than others. So with that, I still had questions though, guys. I still had questions. Even though I had a little bit of an idea of maybe this is happening for a reason, I wanted to know myself. I wanted to ask the universe. I wanted to ask God myself. Is this happening for a reason? You know, everything that I've been seeing online, is this happening so that we are able to start off on a more greener, conscious foot? Maybe, just maybe, that is the answer. Maybe this is why all of that is happening. We need to come together and think of how we can be healthier. We can support each other. We can make the world, you know, better by planting more trees, planting more plants, and just, you know, being together as a whole and seeing what it's like to make the world, you know, a different place. And so with all of this that came about, I was like, you know, I have the knowledge. I feel like this is all happening for a reason. I need to take it a step further and ask God and ask the universe if everything is in life is happening for a reason. This is what I'm supposed to be doing? And I feel like I definitely got my answer back to that question. But before I get into that, I just want to say that yesterday I was talking to Des about everything that I was, you know, reading online. Was it happening because God was coming back to earth? Was it happening because, you know, the government was trying to kill us? I had all these questions in my mind, and the last few days Des and I have been talking about it amongst ourselves and trying to figure everything out. And so I was telling her that I realized that maybe this is definitely happening for a reason. Maybe it's happening so that we are able to come together as a team and work together as a whole world instead of individual, you know, different places trying to figure out on our own, but try to come together as a whole and try to figure out how to make the world a better place, and to figure out, you know, how we can use this to bring one another closer to each other rather than judging everybody on their differences. Maybe we should use our differences to bring everyone together and to try to figure out how to make the world a better place. And so I'm like, I need to ask God. I need to continue to, you know, figure out more about this. So in my little notebook last night, I wrote a little prayer to God, and I said, dear God, dear universe, I said, just give me signs, just give me some type of symbol letting me know that I'm going in the right direction, that I should be, you know, just going with the flow of life, just having faith in you that everything's going to be all right. And my prayer was answered. At least I think it was answered. I mean, you guys don't have to believe it, but I do feel like God and the universe throws like different signs and symbols and answers at you to help you keep you on the path of life that you're going. And so I feel like he definitely answered my prayer last night with what I'm about to tell you. So basically, guys, Des this morning went out to go do something, and I stayed home. And I was laying in bed, and she came back and she was like, I gotta show you something. So I'm like, okay. So while she was out, she was sitting at the gas station, and she heard this thing on the radio by Matthew McConaughey. And so she was like, okay, I'm gonna show Jaquel when I get home. So she came back, she showed me, and so I was listening to it. I went on to YouTube and I listened to it, and basically Matthew was pretty much saying everything that I had said yesterday to Des. And it was like mind-blowing, because it's like Des showed it to me, because she said she usually doesn't listen to things on the radio, but that thing caught her, you know, caught her attention. So she's like, I need to tell Jaquel, because this is what she was talking about yesterday. So basically, the whole video, or the whole, you know, feel that he was talking about was the coronavirus, and how he feels like this is all happening for a reason. He personally feels too that it is happening so that we are able to find our way back to God, and as well as coming together as not just individual nations, but coming together worldwide, internationally, and helping each other out, knowing that whatever circumstances that we're going through, whatever differences that we have, we need to put those aside, and we need to come together and love each other and find faith in God and know that the world's gonna be okay. All of this happens for a reason, whether we understand what that reasoning is yet or not. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all happening in order to steer us in the right direction, give us some type of insight, or, you know, just teach us a lesson. Who knows? But we just have to know that as long as we have faith in God, we have faith in the universe, that everything's gonna be all right. And I definitely feel like with that video, what Matthew McConaughey had to say, that he answered my question, because that's what I was thinking about last night. And I had to ask God, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be going with the flow? And that is the video that he gave me. And so I really feel like this is all happening for a reason. I'm just going to continue to have faith. I'm going to pray for us each and every day and just go with the flow. And I'm not going to give up on my life. And I don't want you guys to give up on your life either. So, guys, I'm just going to give you guys a few quotes out of, you know, the book that I have written down, or the ones that I've talked to you guys about in the last few days. But basically, this one just says, God will protect us from anything and everything that is not according to our destiny. So I put, if we have faith in God or whatever higher power we believe in, just know that we will be okay. They throw stuff at us all the time that way they know that we can handle. So there's nothing that we can't handle. If it doesn't kill us, then it only makes us stronger. As well as, you know, everything in life happens for a reason. That reason does cause change, and it sometimes may cause hurt, and it sometimes may be hard, but in the end it's usually for the best. And so I believe everything happens for a reason. We may not understand why it's happening, but it is either to steer us in the right direction, give us some type of insight, or to teach us a lesson on something. We just have to go with the flow and just know that it's usually just happening so that, you know, everything in life turns out how it's supposed to be turning out. It always happens for the best. So we just got to know that God and the universe always just wants what's best for us. They don't want us to be upset. They don't want us to be fearful. We just need to go with the flow. Remember to stay safe, stay healthy, be precautious, practice social distancing, go with the flow. Don't be fearful. Don't try to let others throw these different, you know, ideas and, you know, perspectives at you. Yes, you can become aware of them, but just know that they are not attached to you. Go with the flow. You know, have a relationship with God. If you don't, try to, you know, get in tune with him, try to get in tune with nature, and just know that as long as we come together and we, you know, figure out how we're going to get through this, everything will be okay. We just have to have faith in God, faith in the universe, and just go with the flow. Again, guys, if you guys like this video, or if you guys have any feedback on it, or any different ideas on, you know, about my video, just let me know down in the comments section below, because I am definitely up for feedback. I'm up for criticism. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the whole situation. Maybe, you know, they can, you know, come together, intertwine with each other. Maybe we could come together and figure out how we're going to get through this. Just know that whatever it is that you guys want to talk about, I am always open. I am an open book. I am a shoulder to cry on, and I will be here for you guys for anything and everything. Just know that you can follow me on all my social media. You can comment on this or whatever the case is. But yes, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on all my social media, guys, and I will be back with more videos. Peace.